Hey, welcome to the TopOff, brought to you by Drinkin' No Stuff. I'm Brooke Ray, and it's November, so we're going to talk Beaujolais Nouveau, Thanksgiving, and all those good things, baby. Get lost in the heads of drink. I get lost in the heads of drink. All right, so I promised you we would talk about Beaujolais Nouveau, so let's get on with that. Why is November associated with Beaujolais Nouveau? Well, the third Thursday of November is when the first harvest of grapes in France that has been made into wine is released. So in other words, the first wine that can be released and drunk for the current vintage, whatever year it may be, is going to be the Beaujolais Nouveau. So there's a party. People have a good time. They throw a big hoopla, and they pour this wine like it's going out of business. And is the wine good? Most of the time, it's not particularly tasty. There is kind of a rush job because you harvest and then you make wine really quickly. And the quickest way to do that is just to dump all the grapes into a vat and let them start a fermentation inside themselves, inside the grapes, which is called carbonic maceration. This particular process yields a very interesting sort of flavor. A lot of people sometimes describe it as banana or banana peel, mixed with some other things. It's super fruity, not a whole lot of tannin, has a little bit of a tingle to it. It's interesting. It's different. Is it fun once a year to have a little party based on that? Great, yeah. Is it fun to drink Beaujolais Nouveau with Thanksgiving dinner? No. So I'm here to tell you this today about Beaujolais that you can drink with Thanksgiving dinner and why it's different from Beaujolais Nouveau. Let's talk about some Beaujolais. One of the things you might notice right here is I have some white wine in my glass. And while it could be Beaujolais, because Beaujolais is allowed to make white, red, and rosé, it's not. And it is not the Beaujolais-Villages we're going to talk about today because I drank that the other day with some friends. But I'll give you an honest review regardless. First things first, what is Beaujolais? Well, it's a region in France, and it's also a wine, but it is not the grape. The grape for red Beaujolais is Gamay. Okay, so Beaujolais Nouveau uses Gamay just like this Beaujolais-Villages, but the difference is the vinification process, as I explained earlier. So what's different? Well, this Gamay is made in a traditional way, regular fermentation. It's treated to a long period of settling and maybe even oak treatment before it's bottled. So it's made in a more traditional sense and has a more traditional flavor. So Beaujolais-Villages is also a higher designation within the region, meaning that they have stricter rules for yields and that sort of thing. That all translates to better wine. So what we're talking about today is Louis Latour's Beaujolais-Villages, the Chameroy. Now, I picked this wine because I know that Beaujolais-Villages often goes well with food, and I also know that Louis Latour does a very good job. Louis Latour is both a negociant, meaning they buy grapes, make wine and sell it under their label, but they also have their own vineyard sites. And the Chameroy is from their own vineyard sites, from 30-year-old vines on pink granite, no less, and it makes a wonderful wine. So let's talk about what does the wine taste like. Okay, so what does it taste like? Well, I will tell you the first thing about Beaujolais-Villages is that it is a lighter wine. It's not going to be super heavy, thick, or tannic, but it does have a good acidity to it, which may sound negative at first, but acid in wine is a good thing when it comes to pairing with food. And pairing with food is what this thing does best. I've had this wine with red sauce pasta. I've had this wine with a porchetta sort of situation. Think all the pork and all the fat. Cheese. It goes well with everything, which brings me to Thanksgiving. Okay, so you need a wine that's versatile for Thanksgiving because think about it. You got the turkey, you got your stuffing or your dressing as we call it down here. You also have things like gravy, green bean casserole, sweet potatoes, and that cranberry sauce. Not even sure what that is. And pecan pie.
Hey, what about my pumpkin pie?
Yes, we will have pumpkin pie. This isn't about pie at the moment. All of those flavors are varied and all over the place, right? So you need a wine that can pair with lots of different things and also helps refresh the palate and doesn't break the bank in case, grandma doesn't really appreciate wine or whatever. This is under $15. You can find it readily available around, and it's super tasty. So I recommend you run out and grab you some Latour, Chameroy, Beaujolais-Villages for your Thanksgiving celebration or anytime. You just want to have some good wine with some food. So that's it for the top off today. Go out and grab you some wine. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I will be enjoying mine. And remember, while it's good to know stuff, it's better to drink and know stuff.